Hello Inklings, I'm Bianca and welcome back to Binks Things. So today I will be showing you my setup for my Japan travel journal for winter 2025. So for this journal I am using one of Notebook Therapy's collector's editions. This is I think the 2023 winter collector's edition, and it was just absolutely perfect for going to winter in Japan because this little village that's on the cover is actually in Japan itself, and it's beautiful and snow covered. I'm also using the Sights of Japan washi tape set, which I got specifically for this setup. I'm also using a variety of Tombow dual brush pens, and this is the color palette that I originally thought I would start with, but I don't actually end up sticking to that. I also use a few of my glitter gel pens. On this first page, I'm just writing my name and doing a little bit of decorations before setting up the cover page. So this is on that awkward little page that doesn't really lay flat, so I just thought I would write in kanji, nihon, and in romaji and English as well. And I had such a great time decorating this with the washi tape, and I'm so glad that I took out my X-Acto knife for this setup, because in one of my other setups I forgot that existed, and trying to cut everything with the scissors was really annoying. So yeah, this is just me playing around with the washi tape and where to put it. I also decided that I didn't really love how that grey kanji is looking, so I do end up going back in and writing over it with my gold glitter pen, which I think looks really great. I love this set of stamps. Yeah, I think those are usually my favorites out of the washi tape sets, and I was a bit indecisive with where I wanted to put some of these, but I quite love how this turns out, and it's just cute and cozy. I also decided that it was a little bit difficult to read some of these Tombow hand lettering, so I do end up going back in and outlining it with my blue glitter gel pen, and I think it looks a lot better. And I do the same at the bottom, and I think, yeah, this is when I'm going to go back in with the gold gel pen and outline that kanji I was talking about earlier. And then I also decided that it would look really cool if I add some swirls and things on the actual lettering itself and fill that in. And you can't really see it too well on the video, but it ends up looking super cute and shiny, and I love how this whole page turns out. On the next page, I wanted to put an itinerary. I didn't come up with all of these ideas myself. A lot of this I was basing on a video by Erin Smith. So she's done quite a few travel journal videos that are kind of similar to bullet journaling. I haven't found many other people do travel journaling in a similar style, so I definitely used her setup for one of her Europe trips as inspiration, because this is one of my first big trips abroad as an adult. So I wasn't really sure what to put in a travel journal, and I haven't had a travel journal for a specific trip before either. So thank you so much, Erin, for the inspiration. I didn't set up everything exactly like hers, but you'll definitely see a little nod to a lot of her spreads. Her itinerary does look a lot different to mine, so this is more set up like a standard like monthly log, and I really enjoyed using all of the stickers from the set here. I think they end up looking super duper cute, and I do end up going back to some other pages and putting some of the stickers down, like the little airplane over there. And yeah, I do quite like how this turns out, and I think the gold, adding the gold really makes it come together really nicely, and I just add some tiny little stars and dots and sparkles. So later on I'll come and actually write my itinerary, because yeah, internet safety, privacy, yeah. And I do end up going back to add some more stars to the cover page as well. And the next page I'm going to set up, actually the camera does cut out, so you don't see me set up this whole spread, but I do show it to you in the flip through at the end. So I'm sorry about that. I knew that the camera was going to cut out at some stage because my memory is full, but I wasn't feeling too well when I was setting this all up, so I didn't notice that the camera kept cutting out. And then yeah, it was too late by that point. But this next page is just going to be my packing list. I wanted to add a little bit more of that washi tape on that page just to bring it all together. So this is going to be my packing list, and this does end up having a really cute like plaid layout at the end, and I use a little bit of craft paper, so yeah, it's going to cut out soon. But I'm just using like the letters for the places we're going, and then I've been setting up a page each for the cities where we're going to go, and this is probably the pages that are the most inspired by Erin. So on the left hand side I just have a list of things that I'm going to write down about each place, like important things to remember. So if it's a place where we're going to be staying, I might write down our accommodation details. And then on the right hand side of the page I have a bucket list, so room to write down things that I want to try to do. We probably won't get to all of them. And yeah, I used a different color palette for each city, and I wasn't really going with a plan or anything like that. And then I was outlining the page with this kind of staccatoed line, and then using the Tombow dual brush pens for every other line on the left hand side of the page, and then using it on the right hand side for some little circles to color in. And I really quite love how all of these turned out. I got to use some of the washi tape on all of the spreads, but I did want quite a lot of room to write things down, just because I'm not sure how much space I'm going to need for this. So yeah, they all ended up looking super duper cute, and I don't think it's a bad thing that it cut out during this part, because all of these pages are quite repetitive. I do exactly the same thing except with a different color palette on each page. Some of them are slightly inspired by the city or how it makes me feel, but otherwise it's quite random. So yeah, but they do end up looking really, really cute. This last page is for other, so this is not for a specific city. And I do also want to mention that there are a few other spreads that don't end up being filmed in the setup because, again, camera stops recording and I was too sick and tired to notice. But I do set up a few packing lists, like packing for winter list, the actual packing list for every city, and things to do before and after the trip. And then I also set up a spread about Japanese tea ceremonies because that is one of the things I definitely want to do while I am in Japan. And now it is time for the final flip through. So let's look. On the first page I added some little post-it notes to use throughout. I also added some at the back. So we've got the cover page, the itinerary, which I'll complete later. That's what my packing list ended up looking like, with a little plaid. I have my to do before and to do after the trip. Then all of the cities that we're going to and the bucket lists. So yeah, like I said, I'll do research on one side and then things I want to do on the other side. And I think these ended up looking really, really pretty, and the frames around, and I ended up adding some more little stickers to all the pages just to fill up some of that empty space, and I think it looks super cute. And then for these last two pages we have the packing for winter and then my Japanese tea ceremony page, which I love. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, Inklings.